Wisconsin Information Radio 1660 special sports presentation. Now let's head down to the venue and get the play-by-play.
This is not exactly play-by-play, folks. We are at Archer's Tavern in Kettering, home of the world-famous pretzel bites. And I'll tell you, I just had a pulled pork sandwich that was awesome as well. But we're not here to evaluate the culinary aspects of this fine establishment, though I do love their food. I'm Barney Sentner, going into my 14th year doing University of Dayton women's basketball. Dennis Shaw is with us, and we have Coach Shauna Green. She's entering her 4th season here at UD, and we are going to be talking to the coach kind of as for about the next 30, 40 minutes or so, a preseason preview of the season coming up. First of all, before we do this, I have a present I want to give the coach for all of her kindness that she gives me, especially during the pregame and postgame interviews. This is a book, hold this up, but this is a book by Seth Davis. He recently was Sports Illustrated. It's called Getting to Us, and this is a book that has 9 brief stories about 9 coaches, 6 basketball, 3 football, and what makes these coaches great. And it's a fascinating read. If you're interested, you can read a coach in probably half an hour, because it's like 30 pages each. But your traits that I've seen are in a lot of these coaches. My favorite was actually Dabo Sweeney. He's in there. There's also Krzyzewski and Gino Auriemma. I am disappointed in the fact that there are no female coaches in there. I will say that. So
thank you so much,
enjoy
Barney.
that, or
I appreciate it.
Or give that to your coaching staff, or
I'll definitely read that.
I think you will definitely.
Got that right.
I think you will definitely enjoy that.
No, okay. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Okay, so again, there's my unconventional open. So we have the coach with us, and here's where I want to start. We're in Fairmont territory, so I want to start with the hiring of Cassie Sand. Excited about that. How did that come about? Give us the kind of the backstory on that. I doubt she walked in your office one day and said, "Hire me," because she's got the marketing background and the video background. So tell us how she wound up joining your staff and what she'll actually be doing.
Actually it happened, it was during season, and she had emailed me at one point and just said, is there, if there's ever any openings, I would really be interested in, getting back and doing something in those lines. And, I didn't have any openings at the time, and then when Will left, because of his wife's job, moved them to Florida, I thought about Cassie right away, because one of the biggest things in that video coordinator position is obviously the social media, the graphics for recruiting, and she's so talented and creative, and I have known that because I obviously coached her when I was an assistant, and I called her up and we talked for a couple weeks. We talked about it, and I just wanted to make sure she was 100% totally in on making the move and coming back here, and fortunately she was, and she's just been great. It's just she's so positive, and she has such a passion and love for Dayton in this program, and it's just something different when someone's worn that jersey and been in the classes and and has gone through all the practices and the good and the bad times as a player, to be able to relate to recruits and relate to her own players. So she will handle a lot of different things, and her main is the video aspect, and the graphics, so our social media and a lot of our recruiting stuff. She's been tremendous in just a short time. The stuff that she can produce is unbelievable, and I'm super excited to have her on board and a part of our team.
Now, will she travel with you on road games?
Yes, she will, and she'll be on the bench, and so she can hit on so many different things, and she can talk to our players and relate to them, and then she can speak to recruits when they're on campus. She can speak to them really from the heart about what it's like to be a Dayton women's basketball player, and I think that's something that's invaluable.
So I'll ask one more thing, and then I'll turn over to Dennis, because he has questions. And he said last year I took a lot of his questions that he was going to, because I have no questions in front of me. It's just all out of my mind, I guess. Summer was different this year. You didn't go to Italy. So first of all, personally, did you get a chance to enjoy anything over the summer?
We got away 1 week in June on a family vacation down to Alabama, to the beach down there in Orange Beach, and my family went, and my parents, my sisters, their husbands, and it was really fun. So that was my time to get away, and then pretty much from then it was all work.
Okay, so let's talk about the work aspect. And you did some different things with the team over the summer. So tell us about, and I know Dennis is going to ask you about boxing, but tell us about your jaunt through Woodland Cemetery, why you did that, and what you hope to accomplish from it.
Our whole mentality.
Dennis X's out the question.
He took one off his list.
Oh, well.
Our whole mentality this off season was finishing, and was just being disciplined when we were fatigued, and try to simulate at the end of the game, because we felt we lost 3 games really in conference. When you look at GW, you look at George Mason, and then you can throw in a VC or one of those that we were up by 12. And we didn't finish. We didn't close it out, whatever the factors may be. So that was our big key. We felt if we could just have even gotten those 3 wins, we would have been in contention for another championship. So our off season consisted of that. So we did our road game Fridays, and we would go to a different site each Friday. They did not know where we were going. We either walked over to the cemetery or got in the van and drove down to box, and it was just really about being focused, being ready to go no matter where you're at, no matter what time it is, and being able to compete and perform and finish.
Well, coming into the season, did you maybe have an inclination that that could be an issue? The first 2 years you didn't name captains. Last year you did. So just kind of talk a little bit about that decision, and do you think that is going to be different this year?
Yeah, this year we don't have captains. We have something different this summer that we started. It's a leadership council per se. You had to apply for it, so it's something that they wanted to do, and it's not something that was mandatory. We have 7 of our team members on that, and we meet weekly with myself and Dr. Becky Cook, our sports psychologist, and we talk about leadership. We're reading a book right now, and really trying to develop their growth and their leadership skills. And I think that it's helped tremendously already. I see some of the results of that. So that was something that I knew we had to do. We had to help them become better leaders. And we can lead as coaches as much as we want, but we need leaders out on the floor, and we need people to take over, in those tight times, and to step up, and they have to take ownership of themselves and really hold each other accountable at the end of the day.
So, with that, what would a seminar kind of entail? What did you guys kind of do?
It's still going on. We'll do it all year. We do it once a week for an hour, like I said. We're reading a leadership book right now, so each week they have assignments to read, and then we discuss, and then we talk about application. How can they, show leadership in practice, and what can they, they were in charge of a team bonding excursion and activity. So just different things throughout, and then we evaluate at each week too. How did you step up and be a leader, in practice this week, or what could we have done better? What could you have done better? And like I said, I've seen results already. So are we where we want to be? No, but we're being intentional on trying to grow.
So, expectations always being high here. Before last season, 8 of 9 NCAA tournament berths. Is it difficult to kind of manage those expectations, or does it make it easier, to have that bar set?
The expectation's high, but that's how it always is, and that's how it would be whether we've been to 8 out of the last 10 NCAA tournaments or not. Like for myself personally, I want to win every single game. Every time I step onto a floor, I want to be the best, and I want our players to want to be the best. So expectations are always going to be high for us, but it's hard. It's hard to win championships, and that's what people, it doesn't just happen. So it takes, a daily focus and process to be elite. And, that's what we're really focused on. We know where we want to get. We know what the expectation is. We know what our standard is. But we try to approach it on a day-to-day basis. So we believe that those, the process and the day-to-day will take care of the results at the end.
So, of course, it is another, just like last year, very difficult and challenging, maybe a better word, non-conference schedule. You play 6 or 7 teams who were in the NCAA tournament last year. And unlike last year, you've got a lot of the marquee teams coming in this year to UD, South Carolina and Connecticut, certainly on the surface. So How do you feel about the non-conference schedule, again, from a challenging standpoint, and actually getting some of those toughies at home?
Yeah. You know, to have UConn in South Carolina at UD Arena, I've told a couple people this when I've did some talks. I don't think it'll ever happen again, so hopefully we can get as many people as we can out to the arena and to fill that up, because it's just really hard to get those quality teams to come play us at home. So it's really something special. And, you know, you look down the line of our non-conference schedule, every team we play, we have a lot of really tough road games in there. You know, everyone talks about UConn, South Carolina, and I just talked to our team about this the other day. I'm more concerned about, you know, how are we going to do at Toledo? Are we going to go to Central Michigan? You know, we got to go to Buffalo. We have to go back Northeastern. Then we have neutral games. We start with Gonzaga, and you have Wake Forest. I mean, so everyone besides our people in our locker room and our fans, they think we're going to get beat by UConn, South Carolina. So we need to, you know, we need to focus on those games that are really, really tough games. Every single game is going to be hard, but it's not just about the UConn, South Carolina.
And then we'd be remiss if we did not mention that the season will end, at least in terms of the tournament special, getting to host the A-10 tournament. Seems like you've been going to Richmond probably every year since you've been the coach, so that'll be another opportunity basically to showcase women's basketball to the community.
Yeah, it's so exciting that we're going to have the tournament here with the new arena. It's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. I just had a tour of the arena last week, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. So hopefully our community and our fans will come out and support not just us, but every single team, because I know how it was last year at Duquesne, and I felt it didn't really feel like a tournament feel. So I know Neil and I have already talked about ways that it's going to feel like a tournament. As soon as they arrive in Dayton, as soon as they walk into the hotel, we're going to make sure that this is a tournament feel. And if you can't, they've done the first four how many times. I think that Dayton knows how to host a tournament, and I think it's going to be a first-class event, and I'm excited to be able to play on our home floor for a tournament setting.
Dennis, do you want to take the next question? Otherwise, I'm going to delve into some players.
Well, one more kind of on that, because, you know, to your point, Dayton fans, they show out for basketball.
Yeah.
They lead the A-10 every year, and, you know, average home attendance. Is that a big recruiting advantage, like when you're bringing players in to have that?
Yeah, we sell that all the time, and every time, you know, a kid's on campus and we're going through our presentation and showing and talking, you know, about Dayton basketball and about UD Arena. You know, we should talk about what we average. We talk about we have an 87% winning percentage at home. We have, you know, one of the top 10 longest winning streaks at home. So there's a lot of things that, you know, are special about the arena, and we've been pretty good there. And hopefully we can continue that in the years to come.
Okay, so let's talk about players. I want to key in especially on the people that have not been on the court that our fans have been able to see. I want to start it out with Aaron Whalen. So the Vanderbilt transfer, read a comment that you had in an article in the Dayton Daily News that she's working on ball screens and mid-jump shot. So are those two areas that you're concentrating on, and what type of a player are we going to see in her? Is she going to replace Lauren and do a lot of the things that Lauren did, maybe not go 20 for 22 at the line necessarily?
Yeah, I would, if you're thinking about what type of player she is comparable to who we've had before, think Lauren, but think she's 6'1". Think that she can post people up. She can go off the bounce. She can hit the mid-range. She has deep three-point range. So she's just a versatile player with great size. So we can play her really from the 2 to the 2, 3, 4. She's versatile, and she is a competitor. You want to talk about elite competitor, that's Aaron Whalen. She hates to lose in anything. She's going to try to find a way to win in anything. She's going to talk some smack along the way. She just has an edge to her, and we need someone like that. So super excited to have her out on the floor. She's tough, and she's not going to back down from anyone. So I think you guys are going to really enjoy watching her play, and we need that three-point threat. And like I said, she can do it, and she can do it from deep.
And she has the advantage over the freshman because not only does she have varsity experience, but she basically did everything with your team last year except playing games.
Yes, yeah, she was here for that redshirt season, and she worked out, and she practiced with us, so she understands the system. And she's also played at a high level. She played at Vanderbilt. It's not like she was on the team but didn't get minutes. I mean, she was on the all-rookie team. She had some success there, so she knows what it takes. And believe me, there's no one looking forward to getting out on the floor more than Erin. She is sick of practicing. She wants to play.
One question I would have on that, so she played 2 years at Vanderbilt, and then, like you said, she sat out last year with her transfer year. I'm not familiar with the rule on redshirting in a transfer year. Like, what are the stipulations with that?
Yeah, since she transferred, she has to sit out the year, and then with that, she can do everything besides travel with us. So she was in every single practice, played, she just couldn't physically play games, and she couldn't go on the road with us.
And I think one thing Dennis was alluding to, she has 2 years of eligibility left.
Yes, she has 2 years left. Correct.
Okay. So we'll leave Erin, and we'll talk about the 3 freshmen coming in. And I think from our standpoint, we have a local young lady. That would be Destiny Bohannon from Wayne. She's had an injury situation, so give us an update on her. What has she been able to do and not do?
Yeah, she's post-surgery from last season, and she's had a couple things happen since then. So, we're just trying to get her 100% healthy. She's practiced some, and then she hasn't practiced some. So she was looking really, really good, and then she has a little setback. So right now, it's just about getting her healthy. But she's someone that can come and contribute. She can defend. She can defend at a high level. She understands the game. She's kind of, again, I'm trying to compare. I don't like to compare, but she has like the smoothness of like a Jenna, where Burdette, where she understands the game and the game slows down to her. She just lets the game come to her, and so she's going to be a special player here. Like I said, our main thing right now is just getting her 100% healthy and keeping her that way.
Well, before we get into the other freshmen, talk a little bit about the freshmen from last year. I've noticed there's sometimes a big jump in that first off season from your freshman year going into your sophomore year. Kyla obviously played a lot more last year than Amari and Ella, but what's your assessment so far of those two?
Kyla right now is, I think she's had one of the biggest increases in terms of just watching her. She is looking really, really good right now. I'm so happy with her growth. Just the confidence when she gets the ball down low. She's improved her shot, so she can hit now, 15-foot. She can hit the 3. She's so strong. So I'm really, really happy where she's at, and we just gotta, again, we gotta keep her healthy. But she's playing really well right now. Amari had surgery last off season on her hip, so she's still not 100% and is not full go. So have not really got to see much of her since she's been out. And then Ella has made, her thing, and she knows it, and we've all, I've talked about it, was she had to improve on the defensive end in order to get out there, because the girl can score it. And she's improved. She's worked really hard to improve those defensive factors, and she's done a good job. So we need her to be able to go out there and hold her own defensively, because you put her on the floor and she's going to make plays in terms of putting the ball through the net. But in our system, you got to defend and you got to rebound in order to play.
So your other 2 freshmen are Tyler and Perez. So give us a little snapshot of what you've seen from them so far.
Yeah, Tyler right now, again, is out right now with an injury. So we're going to, day to day see where she ends up. But that's someone that she's young for her grade. She's only 17. So if you think about, her potential and where she's going to get in this program, I think that she's going to be an unbelievable player with her length, and she's a legit 6'4". I think she's even still maybe growing, and with the wingspan, she's going to be a really good player. It's just about the health right now and getting her 100%. And then Mariah has been the one freshman that has been every single day healthy, and she's gotten a ton of reps because we are kind of light in the post position right now with some injuries, and she just keeps improving every single day. She's going to help us. She's going to have to play right away, and I really am really happy about her growth. Actually, we just watched film and met this morning, and I told her the thing about Mariah that I love is that she works extremely hard. She's so coachable. She wants to be great, and she's going to do anything she can to possibly get there. And she doesn't think she knows everything. She just listens and she works. So you have a combination like that, she's going to continue to improve.
So with the 2 young ladies, again, who you mentioned, who have battled some injury situations, if those don't improve, would possibly of course you talk with them, would there possibly be a redshirt situation?
Yeah, it's too hard to tell right now. But yeah, if the injury was severe enough where they could not play, yes, they would redshirt.
Let's go ahead.
What does a typical practice kind of look like right now then with dealing with some of the injuries? I know you get them for 20 hours a week, and you've got experience in that from a couple
years ago. You had 6 people and you suited up, so you got to be used to it.
You know, I thought about that the other day. I'm like, geez, what did we do? We only had those 6 or 7 scholarship players that we were dealing with. That was also during the season we were down at that, where it's a little bit easier to have low numbers during the season because you're in games and then you're prep and then you're game. So it's not as much like right now we're still trying to install and teach and put, it's trying to get our fundamentals down, and we're doing a ton of drills. So I got to get creative here. I'm writing up practice every night, like, okay, who do we have? I've been in my trainer's office more than I've been there.
Do you bring the guys in?
We do, but it's just we haven't had as many guys this year, so it's been harder to get them in, and we've been practicing at some 6:30s, and so there's a lot of different factors that we haven't had great numbers, but we've really concentrated on the fundamentals, breaking down our offense, breaking down our defense, and now tomorrow we're back up to, I think we have 9 healthy players, and Coach Cat jumps out there and he practices every day, so thank the Lord for him. He's getting a good workout and be in shape this year, so we'll get up and down a little bit tomorrow before I'm giving him a couple days off for fall break.
Again, this is 1660 Information Radio. Barney Sentner, Dennis Shaw. We're joined by Shauna Green, fourth-year coach at the University of Dayton women's basketball team, as the preseason gets underway with our first live broadcast on November 1st. Ashland will be here. It's a team that was here in 2012, and they actually upset UD. A young lady by the name of Carrie Doherty. I'm sure you've heard of her. She hit a buzzer shot, and now she's the coach. She's got a different name. She got married, so hopefully talk with her. And then we've got the home opener on November the 5th against Lipscomb. They have did you know they have a 27-year-old head coach?
Yeah, I knew they had a new head coach. I didn't know
One of the youngest in the country.
Really?
Yeah. I'll tell you more about Lipscomb, but maybe another time. Maybe aside. So, we'd be remiss if we don't talk about Jayla Scaife. First team all-conference last year, tremendous player, did everything. What has she done? Wasn't she going to participate in some international competition this year to strengthen her? So I may have taken one of your questions again. But exit off. So talk about Jayla and what she did in the international competition that can strengthen her even for this season.
Yeah, she tried out for the team for the USA. She got invited to USA basketball tryouts, which is a huge ordeal and a huge accomplishment just to get invited. She did not make the team, but it was still, she went out there and she competed with the best players in the country. And I think it was great for her because it was good, number one, to be coached by some different people and see different systems, and then also just compete against the best players in the country. And so that was a growing experience. I think she learned a lot. She got some really good work in this summer, and really I saw her take her game to another level. Unfortunately, now she had a couple of little injuries that set her back a little bit, so we're just getting her back full as well. So she had huge progress and had one of the best summers she's ever had, and then had to be out a couple weeks with a little setback of an injury, but now she's working her way back in and trying to get that rhythm back. So everyone knows we're gonna need her to have a big year, and she's going to have to step up in terms of leadership, and she's going to have to be consistent day in and day out, and she's working on that. She knows it, but we're going to need a lot out of her. I mean, there's no question about that.
She is just an overall very strong player. I don't really see weaknesses in her game. Is there any areas that you've asked her to concentrate on, when healthy, of course, or do you just want to see just general improvement overall?
We concentrated on some of the off-the-court stuff in terms of her leadership, and that was an area we wanted her to really step up, and she has. She's taken that, and she's taken it serious and has grown in that area. And then just consistency with her shot and getting that follow-through up and her holding that up there instead of being flat. But she's added something to her game, pretty much every single summer, and also just tightening up her handle and being consistent with that. But the biggest thing with me and her, I just wanted her to really step up and, hey, like, we need you to lead this team, and there's going to be times you need to put this team on your back, and you got to be consistent every single day with your defense and your offense intensity.
So, I'm going to kind of go back towards those drills. I'm a drill guy. What's a drill that maybe you as a coach enjoy and your team doesn't?
Probably every drill we do. I love drills and I love the fundamentals because I believe if you do them right and you're a more disciplined and fundamental team, then you're going to get the results you want more often than not. But we do a drill that we call Olympic shooting. It's a full court drill that we need to get a certain amount of points in 4 minutes, and it's up and down. And it's all about the details. If you don't make your passes sharp, or if you miss a layup, and you're not going to get that point, you're not going to get the win. So we relate that, really the philosophy of how we approach everything. If we're not sharp, we're not detailed, then we're not going to get that win in the game probably. So they don't like it, but I love it, so we keep doing it.
So, kind of with that, sometimes you can get some tension build up through the season. Do you have, who's the comedy reliefs? Like, who's the biggest jokesters on the team this year?
Oh, Shaq for sure. Smallest one out there, but the biggest personality. And she keeps everything pretty light and can get me to laugh pretty much at all times. So, but we got a lot of jokesters on this team, but I think she's probably has the biggest personality.
Any strange quirks or superstitions? Anything we can hold against the player when we talk to him after a game?
The players have?
Yeah.
I'm the most superstitious person there is, so I think I've rubbed off on them sometimes. With all the superstitions, but our players, like I said, they joke around about we got to sit at certain spots, but that's all because of me and some of the things that I've put in.
One of the so many returning athletes, one person I want to focus on would be Jenna Giacconi, because I know you told me at one point last year, we got to see her play, very effective at times, point guard, which is a matchup problem for the other team. And you were saying that when she was on the court, she was usually in quite a bit of pain. So where does she stand this year? Is she full go? Hopefully some of that pain has subsided.
She's actually, she's still in pain, and I think she knows she's going to be in some pain, but it's not, her foot's good now. It's more like her shins, dealing with some of that. But she's a tough kid, and she's had a great summer. One of the best summers. If I have to look at who improved the most, she's showed tremendous growth, and this is the most consistent she's been in terms of just being out on the floor and being able to practice, and you can see that. So we have to limit her at times, just depending on pain level, but she's a huge X factor for us. We need her to have a really big year, and she's capable of it, and just that consistency. Last year was really her freshman year for her, and I don't think people really understand that because it was her first year she was healthy and at least was able to be out on the floor. So she's learned a lot, and like I said, I really like where she's at. She's someone that has good size, can shoot the deep three as well, can go off the bounce. She has to continue to improve and focus on her defense which she has. So she's a big piece for us. Like I said, if she has a good year, it's going to help us tremendously.
A player, we both liked last year, and we saw her working before the games, and it just seemed like she was really close. Julie Chandler, what kind of offseason has she had, and how's she looking?
Yeah, you guys are right on. You talk about someone that just works. Someone you want to have a great year. For her, I want her so badly to have a big year because she's so capable of it, and she has all the skill set. She's been playing. Another one I'm really, really happy with. She's been consistent in so many areas. She's shooting the ball well. She's not fading away like a lot last year. She's being more powerful. She's finishing around the rim. And her defense has gotten a ton better, and her defensive slides with some focus. So I'm really happy again with her. I think I told her she should be the best. I think she's the best post player in our league when she's playing up to her ability, and I've seen it now consistently, for a few months. So we need to keep her playing at that level. Because again, you have to have scoring inside. We didn't have enough scoring last year inside, and it hurt us.
You already alluded to Shaq Fowler and, of course, Bradshaw. They usually kind of subbed in for each other last year. There were times when one was hot and one was not, and you were able to kind of play them off on the other team. So the off-season for them and where your expectations are, if any, different this year?
I think with those two as well, now they know what to expect from me, from the system, from just the league. They were both freshmen in our system as well, so they had never played, and I thought I saw growth throughout the year in them and the understanding and being more confident, and I see they're night and day compared to last year right now. I think they are better right now than what they were at the end of the season. And both of their focuses this offseason was being able to hit shots consistently. They know that we need them to hit shots. And I mean, it's not rocket science. Like, we've always had a point guard, with a Jenna Burdett, a Kelly Austria, that was able to score the ball. And a lot of our offense revolves around that. So they knew that was their focus, and they've worked their butts off on it. And I can say that they're both shooting the ball at a lot higher percentage right now than last year. When they shoot it, I feel like it's going in. And that's a credit to them because they've worked extremely hard in the gym this summer.
And how about Brittany Ward? She was able to give you some good minutes last year with some good insight play.
Yeah, she's another one that had surgery right at the end of the season last year. Her and Jordan both had surgery at the end of the season. So Britt is on her way, on her comeback. She's not 100% full go today. I thought the last 2 days have been her best 2 days since she's been working herself back. And she's just such a smart player. Britt just finds a way she understands the game. She finds a way to make plays. She may not be, the fastest or the quickest or the most athletic, but she's a ball player, and she understands how to make winning plays. So we need her on the floor. She was big in a lot of games last year, and we need her to get healthy quickly.
About 5 more minutes with the coach. Go ahead, Dennis.
Well, it definitely seems like you're having success, with recruiting some transfers and things. What's the recruiting process? How's it different between, high school players and then players that have already JUCO or in college?
Well, I think now you see, with the 19 class, this past class, and really with the 20 commitments that we already have, that was our first 2 classes that we've recruited for a few years since I got here. My first year, it pretty much was a lost class, right? And the next year, we signed, we worked hard for those kids, but it wasn't, we recruited them for a year. Usually in the recruiting process, you're recruiting kids for 2-3 years in order, to get some of these top-level kids. And I think you see that in, like I said, the 19 class, everyone that we signed, it was us in a Power 5 school. Now, that doesn't always mean anything. It's all about what does a kid do when they get here, right? But those are who you want to be competing against. Our 20 class is the same way. Our commitments are all, high-level players. Now they got to come here and they got to work and they got to develop and develop into the player we want them to be. But I'm really happy with where our recruiting is going and the people that we have in place. We'll take some transfers if it makes sense, but we're not gonna live off transfers. And now with the transfer portal too, I think it's gonna be harder and harder for us as a so-called mid-major to get these high-level transfers. You see, all the high-level transfers this year went to they're going to schools that were playing in Final Four. So it's kind of the landscape changed in recruiting, and also the transfers that we got were kids that we had recruited before. Your Aaron Wayland, your AB we recruited before, Brittany we had recruited before, and those came back on the second time.
Do you have a final one, and then I'll wrap it up?
The only last question I'd ask you is, maybe a role model that you have or someone you turn to when, you're the coach, you're kind of high up, but at some point you got to turn to help. Other than your assistant coaches, is there someone that's made an impact over the years?
I mean, I have different mentors and different people, and then we also, there's a group of us that, a group of head coaches that we all got the head coaching jobs at the same time, and every year we all meet. There's about 6 of us, and every year we meet and we talk, and we have kind of like a conference, and then we bounce stuff off each other throughout the season as well. So it's nice to have other head coaches that are going through the same thing, and that we can say, hey, like, I'm dealing with this right now, how did you handle this, or I need, this sort of play. So we're all kind of in it together too, and it's all stays within us, and that's really nice, and that's helped because we're all going through the same stuff, just at different times and in different ways.
And I don't know if you've thought about this at this point. Obviously, you'll have a preseason, probably, I guess, phone media conference. Any thoughts about the conference? And I say that because going in, of course, VCU was the surprising team of the conference last year, and they basically have everybody back. And you saw St. Louis with some very good athletes. Now there are teams that are in a different situation, like Duquesne. They had all their players go bye-bye, so I don't know what their expectations are. But any thoughts about the other teams in your conference? Have you had a chance to think about it?
Yeah, I think VCU will be picked, I'm sure. They have everyone back. That's who I picked. I think Fordham will be good again. They're always good just because their system, and they lost a couple, but they returned some really good players. And again, their system always is going to allow them to be in games because of how they played. I think St. Louis is another team that's good because they had a couple really good players. They lost a couple players as well, but she does a really nice job with them, and they'll be good. And then I think G-Dub's going to be up there as well. They had a transfer from Louisville sitting out, and Jen does a great job with them. So I think some of the bottom teams too are getting better. I think your UMass will be a ton better. URI hired a new coach, and she's a really good coach. She's going to change that a little bit. So, with Richmond getting a new coach, and Aaron's a great coach that's had a ton of success at Bucknell before, he's going to change that program around. So I think the league's heading in the right direction, and I really do. I mean, I just think anyone can beat anyone at any time, and you got to be ready. And I ain't talking about Davidson. I mean, Davidson's going to be good too. They only lost, one kid. So I think anyone can beat anyone. I think the league's up, but I picked VCU and then I picked Fordham for my picks.
Have you had a chance to watch any of the WNBA final?
Yeah, I've watched some, and what time does that start?
Tomorrow night. It's winner take all, 8 o'clock on, here I'm doing promos, 8 o'clock on ESPN. And of course, I bring that up because Jonquel Jones, she's turned into a triple-double machine, of course, from George Washington. And seeing her play in person, it's like, this woman's going to make an impact. So I don't know if you had a chance to see her perform.
Yeah, I have watched when I can. And Tasha Cloud, too, was, at St. Joe's, and she's in the finals as well. So you have two A-10 former players, playing in the championship game. So I think that says a lot about the league. And when Jonquel the other night, I forget what game it was, Jonquel started hitting those pull-up threes, and I'm like, yeah, that brought back memories to the championship game in Richmond that year when we were up, and then she came and did her thing, and they beat us in the game. So
you got to feel bad for Elena Deladon. She's out there playing with a back and disc situation.
Yeah.
It's not going to get any better. She's giving it her all, and just having her out there makes a difference. But did you ever have any back issues when you were playing in a game that was limiting you, like it's limiting her?
I've never had that, and I've had back issues since I played, and I've had back spasms. I can't imagine playing in a game like that. Plus, she has a mask on and a knee brace on. I mean, she's completely beat up, and still going out there to play just shows, the type of competitor she is, and she can still help.
Yes. So anyway, that is the WNBA championship game. It's basically a winner-take-all tomorrow night. Okay, well, Coach, thank you. We'll talk to you from UD Arena on November 1st before the Ashland game.
Thank you guys for everything,
Dennis,
as always.
thank you. And
thanks for the
again,
book.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Excited.
Yeah, it's basically you have 9 mini stories. So, again, we're at Archer's Tavern, home of the greatest pretzel bites in the world. Mine should be coming out of the oven soon, hopefully. And don't forget, Dennis and Aaron Prim will have live high school football Friday night. It'll be from Centerville. Fairmont on a one-game winning streak. They're taking on a Centerville Elks team that has won 4 straight. And the name to listen for Friday night is Chase Harrison. He's a sophomore quarterback who will be playing at the D1 level, but right now he's shredding every high school team around, so good luck to Fairmont's defense. So, for Norm Shrine, Barney Sentner saying good night from UD Arena. No, from Archer, sorry. Good night.
You've been listening to an Information Radio 1660 Sports Special. You can listen to this game or any other game at our website at radio1660.com.